To Kill a Mockingbird by
Emily Chen.
Jeremy Chen,
Johnny Wang, Marcelo Rivas.
Timothy Kim. To Kill a Mockingbird is a novel by Harper Lee. Throughout the novel, Lee uses symbolism to convey her theme that personal values should be upheld over societal expectations. The novel is set in the 1930s, in Macomb County, Alabama. Societal norms at the time severely restricted the rights of lower-class citizens, especially based off of race. There were expectations that oppressed women, African Americans, and the lower working class.
The story's protagonist is John Louise Finch, or Scout. The novel follows her childhood as she grows up in Macomb County and interacts with its townspeople. The first instance of discrimination we encounter is the mistreatment of Boo Radley, a recluse who never comes out of his home. Scout and her brother Jem tries to lure Boo out of his house, but their father Atticus stops them before they go too far.
Throughout the novel, Atticus represents the defiance of societal expectations. He's appointed to represent a black man, Tom Robinson, in court. Tom was accused of raping a woman, Malaya Ewell. When the trial begins, Scout immediately notices something indicative of the legal norms of the 1930s. The jury was all white, with an all-white jury serving on his case. Tom Robinson was certainly to be charged guilty.
Another African American who faces discrimination from society was Calpurnia, the black maid of the Finch's household. Calpurnia acted as Scout and Jem's caretaker and lent a hand to Atticus in raising the children. Calpurnia teaches the children to be respectful to others no matter what their background is. Despite her kindness and good intentions, Scout Anne believes that she cannot look over the children because simply she is black. While many of the townspeople look down on the black community, Atticus sees Calpurnia for her character and respects her. His treatment of Calpurnia characterizes him as understanding and kind. His treatment also further emphasizes his defiance of social norms of discriminating black people. While before the trial, Scout faces problems among students in the school, such as a kid named Cecil Jacobs, who tries to pick on Scout by calling his dad an African-American lover, except in a more explicit way. While also Scout faces problems again when he goes to his family farm called Finch's Landing, in which Scout's relative Francis calls Scout's father Atticus, the same term in which Cecil Jacobs had said before. Scout is eventually frustrated with Francis's remarks, so Scout beats up Francis by making him take back his belief, a belief that is similar to what society expects.
The trial begins. Myella Ewell, the victim, is called to the stand and questioned by Atticus. He immediately notes that all of her bruises are on the right side of her body. This would mean that the suspect was left-handed. Bob Ewell, Myella's father, was called to the stand next. Atticus asks him to write on a piece of paper. Bob, Atticus points out, is left-handed. And since the perpetrator must have been left-handed, this was major evidence against Bob. How could they prove that Tom Robinson was not left-handed? He is asked to stand up, and everyone in the court looks at Tom's disfigured left hand. As a boy, his hand was caught in a machine that disfigured his left arm. This meant that there is no way that Tom Robinson could be guilty. Despite all the evidence, the jury finds Tom guilty. While Atticus represents the defiance of societal norms, Aunt Alexandra, Scout's aunt, acts as the antithesis of his ideas. She represents society's expectations and embodied the ideas of the town. She constantly calls out Scout for not acting ladylike and for wearing pants rather than dresses. She also criticizes Calpurnia, the housemaid of the Finches, and says that she is not fit to raise the children because she is black. and Alexandra's constant disagreements with Scout symbolize the mistreatment of society on innocence, much like Tom's guilty verdict and Boo's mistreatment.
Boo Radley is a man that's said to have a bad past and is feared by the children. One time, Jem, Scout, and Dill decided to go and ring the doorbell of his house, but they did not expect the way Boo would react, and they almost got shot at. At the end of the book, Jem and Scout are attacked by Bob Ewell, but is prevented by a mystery man. It turns out it was Boo Radley. He stabbed Bob before he can do anything, and carried Jem, who was unconscious, back home. The point of having a character like Boo Radley is to show how people are sometimes discriminated or prejudiced by society. He's also a symbol of being like a mockingbird and how they should not be harmed or falsely accused of such bad rumors.
A prominent theme of this novel is that personal values should be upheld over societal expectations, even in the times of adversity. Atticus portrays this message accurately. In multiple situations, Atticus reasserts that he needs to take the case because it is what he should do as a father. He has stated that if he did not take this case, that his kids would not need to listen to him. This characterizes Atticus as a man of integrity because he is not willing to compromise his values regardless of the situation. He views his role as a father as important because he wants to raise them up with the correct values. If something, such as society, conflicts with his morals, he chooses to not conform as he does in this situation. He stays true to his role as a father because he values raising up his kids with integrity, even if it means to go against societal norms. Harper Lee characterizes Scout Finch as stubborn because she does not conform to societal norms either. Her stubbornness is used to portray the message also because she is unwilling to compromise her own identity to please society. Society expects her to fit the constructs of a young lady. Her rash personality consistently clashes with their ideals. For instance, Aunt Alexandria tells her to wear dresses, and additionally, those around her tell her to change her ways to accommodate others, such as her father. In the end, she chooses to be herself rather than fitting into society, even if others are pressuring her to do so otherwise. As Atticus remarked, real courage was not being able to wield a gun, but rather being able to stand up for what one believed was right.
The end.